Welcome to the Motivational Medium podcast. I'm Anne-Marie Lord, a psychic medium, author, and the founder of the Motivational Medium Academy. On this podcast, we'll explore intriguing topics such as mediumship, psychic abilities, and the amazing idea that we all have intuition within us. Whether you're a believer, skeptic, or somewhere in between, get ready to unlock your extraordinary potential as we discover the supernatural world together. If you want your questions featured on the show, be sure to join my tribe by subscribing to my newsletter at annemarielord.com. Let's go. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the podcast. On today's episode, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. I'm running a workshop and it's all about how to create a successful spiritual practice. And one of the things that I looked at really when I was building this workshop was standing out from the crowd, if you like, and standing within your full authenticity. So that's something that I want to talk about today. Also, when people come and see me for the live events, the mediumship platform, mediumship events, I always get everyone to write down some questions and pop them in this, looks like a big fishbowl. And I pick out some of the questions out of this fishbowl and I answer them, or I try to answer them. And the ones that obviously there's like 78 people at these events and I can't get to read the questions for everybody. So the ones that I don't get to read for, I bring home with me. And I like to catch up with some of them over the podcast. So stay tuned till the end. It just might be your question that gets read out today. So let's jump in. As I said, I wanted to talk about running a successful spiritual practice. Now, this could be anything. This could be mediumship. It could be psychic. It could be healing practice. It could even be anything where you're connecting with a person, or you're dealing with the public, or you're looking at helping somebody, anything if you like. But because I run a spiritual practice, I wanted to base it around, a spiritual business really. So standing out and authentically. So what people often say to me is, well, there's thousands of mediums, or there's thousands and millions of healers, or, there's so many prana healers out there or Reiki healers out there. How do I stand out, or what makes me so different, or I won't be successful? And one of the biggest things I say to everybody is stand within your true authenticity. Bob Proctor, he's an amazing guy. He works a lot from the Think and Grow Rich book. Unfortunately, he passed away, but some of his teachings and lots of his books are all out there for you to have a look at. So have a little look at Bob Proctor if you get a chance. But one of the things that he turns around and says is, there isn't another you on this planet. And there isn't another you with your background. There isn't another you with your knowledge. There isn't another you with your baggage, can we say? So when you turn up, whatever it is you're turning up to do, whether it's even hypnotherapy practice or past life therapy, a healing practice, it doesn't matter. When you turn up with you, with your bag of worldly knowledge, with your bag of everything you've ever done, seen, heard, been part of within your life. So don't ever try to be anybody else, because you can't be anybody else, because anybody else is taken by them. You need to be you. And I know some people might say to me, well, who is me? Don't overthink it. You are the person that is, could be married, could be divorced, could have kids, could not have kids, could have worked as a nurse for over 30 years, could have never done anything like this before in your life. That's what makes you special and authentic, is because you show up as you. Now, I want you to think about it. So say, like myself, I'm going to go into mediumship. and I wanted to create a mediumship practice or a spiritual practice. One of the things that a lot of the things that I brought to my practice was over 30 years of nursing. I brought all my gratitude stuff and my motivational stuff, the hypnotherapy I'd learned, the past life regression stuff I'd studied, walking on hot coals, being married, having 3 kids, having 5 grandkids. Everything and every bit of knowledge I bring with me every single day, and I show up 100% every single day as me. And what that stops you from doing, if you show up as you and you are happy and comfortable within you, and this doesn't mean that you know everything. Gosh, I learn stuff every single day, every time, every reading that I do, every encounter that I have with other people, I learn from that every single day. So when I show up as me every day and 100% with my energy, what that stops me from doing is worrying whether I'm good enough, worrying about what other people will say, worrying about what other people will think, because you can't do no better. If you show up and are comfortable with who you are, and you show up as you, authentically you, whatever it is that you continue to grow in, continue to learn in. Because don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean you become a medium or a Reiki master or a healer or a quantum past life regression therapist. It doesn't matter what you are. You continue to learn every single day, but you show up as you. Now, this could be brought into any day life. Take, for instance, if I was still doing my nursing. So to continue your nursing, you always had to do some study, and you'd have to do a certain amount of study every year. I bring that into the mediumship with me. I've never once thought that I am too knowledgeable to go and do a mediumship course. Absolutely not. Because the person who shows up to teach that mediumship course is authentically them, and they are going to teach you what they know, who they are, what they've learned. And you can't learn that stuff unless you go and learn from another medium. So going back to the nursing, when you do your yearly lessons or teaching, you are learning from other nurses. You are learning every day from an old nurse. I used to have this old auxiliary nurse. She was amazing. She taught me everything I knew about being an auxiliary, everything and some. She was fantastic. So don't ever think that you can't learn from anybody. You can. And what that does, that helps you show up as you. So this is one of the areas that I cover in my course, is how to be authentically you, how to really not care about what other people think or say about you, how to show up with confidence, how to show up, and I'm not saying being the best, but how to show up being the best you. You can't show up as anybody else because they are taken. Everyone else is taken. So decide to show up as you in anything that you do. You do you. And you do the best you. And you will rock your confidence. You will be able to show up authentically. You will be able to not really genuinely put your hand on your heart and say, I actually don't really care what anyone else says about me, or I don't worry what people say about me, because I have no control over that. And in my work and in my life, I try my hardest to show up authentically as me. And if you continue to do that, my friend, you will find the lost energy or the lost thoughts or the lost anger or the lost fear that you're giving away to other people, worrying about what they think about you, you'll realize that that's wasted energy. Energy that you could be using to go and walk on hot coals like I did, to go and put yourself on another mediumship course. Use your energy to grow you, not your energy to worry about what people think or worry about what other people are doing. That's another thing. If you worry about what other people do, whatever line of work you're in, whether it's my line of work or any other line of work, if you worry about what other people are doing, then you are taking your energy away from you. And that's why in the spiritual world, it's one of the reasons, not all the reasons, but it's one of the reasons that some people don't last the course of time or get quite burnt out, because they worry about what other people are doing. They worry about what people are saying. They worry about everything, really. And my friend, it's wasted energy. Do not waste your energy with anger, worry, or fear. Fear is a great sense, if you like. It keeps us safe. Even worry can be a good sense in the right context. But in the wrong context, it's given your energy away to other people who you have no control over whatsoever. So bring that energy back to you. This could be the difference from you starting a spiritual business or a spiritual practice and succeeding and keeping the momentum going. I've been in this business now I started doing Reiki in 2009. And I left nursing to do this full time in 2014. So it's 11 years I've been in this spiritual practice for, and I've never looked back. And my business just keeps growing and getting stronger and stronger day by day. And the only thing I ever focus on is how I can grow me to enable me to show up better for my clients. Don't waste your energy looking at what other people are doing or worrying about what other people are saying or thinking. You got no control over that. Focus on you, my friend, and watch the shift. Give it a month. See how you feel. Notice when your thoughts go to different people. Notice when your thoughts travel to worry, and consciously use the stop, twerk and tequila, if you like, in my book. Say stop. Move a part of your body and think about something that makes you laugh. Yeah? And that's what you can do to stop the worrying pattern journey from you to continuing to worry, because you've got no control over it. All right? So isn't that energy better spent on you? Now, if you wanted to come on this course that I'm doing, it's all about growing a successful spiritual practice. Now, it could be even for people in like chiropractors. It could be for psychologists, it could be for anybody. It just doesn't mean that it's a spiritual practice. I'll be going through lots of different things, how to look after your energy, how to bring your energy back. But I've got one on the 5th of April. It's in Clarkson. It's a live event, so I will be teaching live. It's not on Zoom. And also on the 14th of June, I think the next one is. Come along. You're never too knowledgeable to learn. I go on courses most of the year. I do about 5 courses a year, and every single one of them benefits me in one way, shape or form. So if you feel like you want to join a spiritual practice, or you're already running a spiritual practice and you think, I wouldn't mind expanding on this and getting some little tips and strategies and knowledge, then come along 5th of April or the 14th of June. And yeah, they're all on my website. So AnnemarieLord.com, and you can book in from there. All right, my friend. Now, what I want to talk about is some of the questions. So I've got 3 questions here. Now, I always say, if you don't put your name on the questions when you're at the live mediumship events, then they won't get read out. However, this one caught my eye and I thought we could all benefit from it. Someone wrote this question to me and it says, do we reunite with our friends in the spirit world or just family? This question gets asked quite a lot, really, but I want to go back to some of the readings that I do. And I've brought through so many friends for people. And in that reading, it's not only friends that I've brought through, then maybe their mum will come through or their dad will come through, and they're all in the room with the same energy as the friend. So we all reunite. I think we all stay in a collective group anyway, an energy collective group anyway. This is my theory on it through the readings that I've done and through what Spirit shows me over the years. So do we connect again with our friends? Absolutely. Do we connect again with our family? Absolutely. So please don't ever stress about that. We will see them again. And when it's our time, so yeah, we will. Do we connect with our friends? Definitely. 1,000,000%. I hope that answered your question. Okay. Now this one is a second child on the card for us. If so, when do you feel it may happen? Thank you. Okay. So straight away, I get the answer yes. I get the feeling as well that someone is fully committed and then someone has got maybe a little bit of fear around this as well. So I would love you to both be fully committed for this. And if you can hear me shuffling, it's because I'm shuffling me angel cards. Yeah, your desired outcome will happen in the very near future. Now, it does say have patience. So I don't feel this is going to happen straight away. And I do get something about September or the 9th of a month. So yeah, I want you to keep that in mind. So do I feel like it'll happen? Yeah, I do. The card that come out about the outcome, desired outcome happening in the near future, it made me laugh. There's a dove on there, a white dove, and it just reminded me of the storks. So do I think one's coming? Yes, I do. And I've got September or the 9th of a month. So yeah, so please keep in touch. You can always email me at anne-marie@annemarielord.com and let me know. Okay. So yes, I do. Now, this is another one. Now, someone sent me a message as well. And she sent me a message saying, do my spirit guides have any advice for me? Now, obviously, I'm on the podcast now. I liked this question because I thought, let's throw this out to all of you guys and let you see your own messages from your spirit guides. Okay, so I believe that our angels, our loved ones in spirit, and our spirit guides show us direction every single day. But a lot of the time we miss the cues, okay? So we'll miss the messages or we'll miss the guidance that we should be getting because we're not fully open, or even though a lot of people who will be listening to this podcast won't be skeptical, but sometimes we have a little bit of skepticism when it comes to trusting our own instincts or our own gut instincts or our own thoughts. So imagine not having that skepticism for a minute and allowing what you see as your guidance. I hope this is making sense. So when our guides or our angels or our loved ones in spirit show us a sign, or we're going through something and then we see a sign, like say, for instance, you all probably know by now that I get a lot of my signs from number plates. And I always remember one of the ones that stick in my mind. It was about 13 years ago. And my daughter was in labour with my eldest grandchild. And it was about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. And I got a message saying, Mom, I'm in labour and things are going a little bit ski-whiff and I need you to come down. And I was thinking, oh, yes, I'm going to see this child being born. You know, I was so excited. And as I got in the car, I got really nervous. And I was thinking, oh, she said things aren't going to plan, or things are looking a little bit ski whiff or not going normal. And then I started overthinking things and I started getting really worried about stuff. Now, this was about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. It was quite late. I can't remember the exact time. And there was no one on the freeway. And this car drove past. I was on the freeway going down because she was in King Eddie's at the time. And I was going down the freeway and this car came past me out of nowhere and it had ASH, Ash, written on the number plate. And I was like, no way, that's my daughter's name. But straight away, instead of going, oh, that's just coincidence, Ash, no, totally dismissing it, I actually thought, okay, you've showed me that. What does that mean? And this is what we do. We overthink things. What does that mean? I'm on the freeway. I'm rushing down to see my daughter. What does that mean that I see a number plate with her name on? Straight away, I knew without a shadow of a doubt, everything is going to be okay. And that was the bit that we tend to miss. So we might see the Ash on the number plate and we go, okay, yeah, because that's where I'm going. But I want you to just tune into your own intuition for a moment after this. After you see your sign, what are you thinking? Listen, quieten down. What's that first feeling? And my first feeling was, everything's going to be okay. And then straight away, the conscious mind kicks in. And it will do with all of you too. The conscious mind kicks in with, no, you're just making that up. And I got to the hospital and everything was okay. It did get a bit hairy there at times. And especially even after Poppy was born, it got a little bit hairy with Ash's health. But everything was okay. And everything was going to be okay. And this is what we do. We miss that bit. Because you've heard me talk about it constantly. I talk about it in the book, The Grateful 3 Approach to Life. You hear me talk about when, we listen to that first intuitive nod that we get, or that first intuitive hello, or, what this is, this feeling, this knowledge, this hearing, this sense. And then straight away, our conscious babble of the mind kicks in and tries to normalize it. And that's where we go wrong. If you let the conscious babble of the mind normalize things, you will miss your cues. So think again, I'm going down the freeway, there's not another car on the road. This white car, little white car it was, come past me. It had Ash written on the number plate. And then instead of just saying, Ash, yeah, thanks for the sign, which I did, by the way, I said, thanks for the sign. Straight away, I knew and I felt it in my stomach. Everything's going to be okay. I heard it. I felt it. Now, I know some of you might say, but you're psychic, you're a medium, you do this stuff for a living. My friend, you can do this. The more you acknowledge them thoughts and them feelings, the more you will see them and the more you will know what it feels like to get these messages. So, do my spirits guides have any advice for me? Yes, my friend. Listen. They absolutely do. And that's the advice to all. To every one of you that's listening to this podcast today, the answer is listen. Open your heart, open your mind, acknowledge your signs, say thank you, and you will see more. And don't let the conscious babble of the mind ruin and steal your cues. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast today, my friend. I've loved chatting with you. And don't forget, subscribe, tune in, share it with a friend that you think might want to listen to this. And let's share the love. Have a great, great day. And don't forget, you can come and see me live in one of my live events and even submit a question if you like. And my next event is in Clarkson on the 10th of May. And my next teaching is on the 5th of April, and that is a workshop about how to create an amazing spiritual practice. And it's got a little bit of a twist that I'd love to share with you. So I'd love to see you there. And if not, I'll see you at the live event. Have a great day, my friend. Bye. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this show. It's important to note that while I'm here to inspire, encourage and guide you, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist or a doctor. Join me again in 2 weeks for more captivating revelations on the supernatural. Remember to be in with a chance to have your questions answered on the podcast. Subscribe to my newsletter at amarylord.com. Stay in the tribe to vibe. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.